My name is Daniel Reyes. I'm 34 years old. The night my mother told my 6-year-old daughter to sleep on the floor, she didn't whisper it. She said it out loud in front of everyone, like it was normal, like my child didn't deserve a bed in a house I was paying for. My daughter didn't cry. That's the part that broke something in me. She just nodded, grabbed her small blanket, and laid down beside the couch like she'd done something wrong. And 3 days later, my mother found out what I quietly ended. Before I take you back to that night, I'd appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it there? Now let me take you back to a Friday evening in late October, the kind of night where the air feels heavier than it should, the kind of night where something shifts, and you don't realize how much until it's already gone. I pulled into the driveway at 7:12 p.m. I remember the time because I checked my phone before stepping out of the car. I always did that. Just a second to breathe before walking into the house. My house. Or at least, that's what I thought. 3 cars were already there. My mother's old sedan, my younger brother Eric's truck, and my Aunt Rosa's SUV, company, witnesses. I should have known then. I grabbed my laptop bag, walked up the porch, and pushed the door open. Laughter. Loud, comfortable, easy. The kind of laughter that stops the second you walk into the room. Daniel's home, my aunt said, like she was announcing a guest. Not the owner, not the person covering the mortgage, just Daniel. My daughter Sophia ran toward me from the living room. "Daddy!" I dropped my bag and caught her mid-run, lifting her into my arms like I always did. "You eat yet?" I asked. She nodded. "Grandma made rice." I smiled. "Good." But something felt off. Her voice was quieter than usual, her hands tighter around my neck, like she was holding on to something I couldn't see. I set her down and walked into the living room. My mother was sitting on the main couch, legs crossed, remote in hand. Eric was sprawled out on the recliner. Aunt Rosa had taken the armchair. Every seat in the room, taken, except one. The floor. A thin folded blanket near the corner. I looked at it, then at Sophia, then back at my mother. "Why is that there?" I asked. She didn't even look at me. "That's where Sophia's sleeping tonight." There are moments in your life where everything slows down, where your brain hears the words, but refuses to process them. "Excuse me?" My mother finally turned her head, calm, neutral, like she was explaining something obvious. "Eric's been staying here all week. Rosa's here tonight. There's no space. Sophia can sleep on the floor. She's young. She'll be fine." I looked at Sophia. She was already walking toward the blanket. Quiet. Accepting. Like this wasn't the first time she'd been told she didn't matter. And that's when something inside me shifted. But I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I just nodded slowly, like I understood. "Okay," I said. "And if you've ever been in a moment where you knew saying nothing would hurt more than any words, you know exactly what that silence felt like. Let me go back for a second, because that living room didn't happen overnight. Nothing about that moment was sudden. It was built, slowly, quietly, over years. I bought that house when I was 29, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, modest but solid. I put down $48,000 as a deposit. Every payment since then, mine, $1,850 a month, on time, every time. When my dad passed away, I told my mom she could stay with me. "You don't have to worry about anything," I said, and I meant it, at the time. Eric moved in 6 months later, just until I get back on my feet. That was 3 years ago. He never paid rent, never contributed, but he always had opinions about everything. Especially about what I owed the family. My mother, she never worked, not after my dad died, and I didn't push it. Because I thought, that's what a good son does. You step up, you take care of people, you make sure everyone's okay, even if it costs you everything. But here's the part I didn't understand back then. Helping someone and being used by someone look exactly the same at the beginning. It's only later that the difference becomes obvious. And by then, it's usually too late. Or at least, It almost was for me. That night, I watched my daughter lay her small blanket on the floor, next to the couch I paid for, under the roof I paid for, in a house that somehow wasn't mine anymore. "Daddy, it's okay," she whispered. That sentence, 6 years old, and she was comforting me. I crouched down beside her. "It's not okay," I said quietly. But I didn't say it loud enough for anyone else to hear. That was my mistake. Or maybe that was the moment I stopped making them. Because I didn't argue. I didn't fight. I didn't defend. I just stood up, grabbed my laptop bag, and walked to my room, closed the door, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the wall. You ever reach a point where you realize you've been invisible in your own life? Where everything you've done, everything you've given, means nothing the second you stop being useful? That was the moment. Not when my dad died, not when Eric moved in, not even when I started paying for everything. No, it was when my daughter accepted the floor like she deserved it. That's when I knew something had to end, and I didn't wait. I opened my laptop, logged into my bank account. 3 automatic payments stared back at me. Mortgage, utilities, family account transfer, $4,100 total, every month, every single month. I hovered over the screen, my finger resting on the trackpad, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel guilty. I felt clear. I didn't cancel anything that night. Not yet. Because this wasn't about anger. It was about timing. And timing matters. The next morning, I woke up at 6 a.m., earlier than usual. Sophia was still asleep, on the floor. I picked her up carefully and carried her to my bed. She didn't wake up, just curled into the pillow, like she finally felt safe. That was enough. I made breakfast, didn't speak much. Neither did anyone else, like nothing had happened. Like the night before was normal, routine, expected. That silence told me everything I needed to know. They didn't think they were wrong, which meant they'd do it again. So I started making calls, quietly, strategically. The first one was to my lawyer. The second was to the bank. The third was the one that mattered most. By Sunday night, everything was in motion. Paperwork filed, accounts separated, ownership reviewed, access restricted, and nobody in that house had any idea. Monday passed like any other day. Tuesday too. They laughed, watched TV, used the lights, ran the water, lived comfortably, inside something that was already slipping away. And then Wednesday morning came. 8:03 a.m. I was at work when my phone started ringing. Mom. I let it ring. Then again and again. 7 missed calls, then a text. "Daniel, call me now." I waited 5 minutes. Then I called back. "What's wrong?" I asked. Her voice wasn't calm anymore. "What did you do?" "What do you mean?" "The bank called. The mortgage payment didn't go through." I leaned back in my chair, took a slow breath. "I know." Silence. "You know?" I stopped it. Her voice cracked. "You can't do that. This is our home." I closed my eyes for a second, then said the one sentence I'd been holding back for years. "No, it's mine." Another silence. This one heavier, longer. "You're punishing us," she said. "No," I replied calmly. "I'm stopping." She didn't understand. Not yet. But she would. Because within hours, everything started unraveling. Utilities flagged, accounts frozen, shared access removed. Eric called next, angry, loud. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I let him talk, let him burn through all that borrowed confidence. Then I said one thing, "Find somewhere else to live." And I hung up. That afternoon, I picked Sophia up from school. We didn't go home, we went somewhere else. A small apartment I'd signed for 2 days earlier, 2 bedrooms, clean, quiet, ours. She walked in, looked around, and smiled. "Is this our house?" I nodded. "Yes." No one else. No one to tell her where to sleep, no one to make her feel small, just us. That night she slept in her own bed, and I sat on the floor beside it, just watching her breathe. Because peace, real peace, is louder than chaos. The final confrontation came 3 days later. In front of the old house, boxes on the porch, my mother standing there, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. "You're really leaving us like this?" she asked. I shook my head. "No, you left me first." She didn't respond, because she knew, they all knew, this wasn't sudden, this wasn't revenge, this was the result of years of silence, of taking without asking, of assuming I'd always be fine. I handed her a folder. Inside were the details, timelines, options, resources. "I'm not abandoning you," I said. "I'm just not carrying you anymore." And that was it. No shouting, no drama, just truth. Clean, simple, final. My name is Daniel Reyes. I'm 34 years old. I used to be the one holding everything together, the one everyone depended on, the one who was always fine. Now, I'm just a father, a man with a home where his daughter has a bed, and a life that finally belongs to him. If you've ever been the one everyone leans on, the one no one checks on, the one expected to carry it all, I want you to hear this. You are allowed to stop, and when you do, the people who only loved what you provided will call it betrayal. But it's not. It's freedom. Tell me in the comments, would you have walked away sooner? Or did it take you as long as it took me? I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself first, because nobody else will.